PEINTEINGU. Yes, that's enough. Tip him if you wish, but know this, I get all of it. Welcome to PEINTEINGU. I hope you're all well on this fine day of this Tuesday. Tuesday? A day of choosing. Or is it Tuesday? Is it a day of twos? Or is it Jews' Day? Is it a day of Jews? Regardless of what kind or type or what properties the day may possess, what I choose to do and what you choose to do is entirely up to you. You? Like my conversation with Brick Fingaroo, I believe that we possess free will. Free will. Oh, it's a bit cheery. It's a bit cheery in the glorious PEINTEINGU hut, PEINTEINGU cave, whatever I decide. It kind of does look like a little hobbit house or something like, which I don't mind. I wouldn't mind living in a little hobbit house. I am, after all, a tad Irish, if you haven't noticed. The glorious light of heaven has returned a bit. The dullness of the winter weather has, for the moment, receded and given way to the brightest of brights, the skylight. One of two skylights. Well, technically one of like billions, maybe? I don't fucking know. Like, I don't get to see a clear night sky with all the beautiful galaxies and different depths and hues of purple and navy and brack. But when you do, you're out in the middle of a field or some shit like that, just camping with your friends, you look up, you witness the trillions, billions, or whatever, the almost seemingly infinite amount of teeny tiny dots just pinpricked into that giant velvety something or other that sits above us. Alas, I have become distracted by frivolous thoughts. Welcome to PEINTEINGU, Brother Demon Hunter Beru. Brother Core Beru. Hello, happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. Did you have a good Christmas? How's the fam? I am quite well. I'm getting to the stage now where like because I replace all the L's with R's even in text form when I'm doing captions for the fucking videos I upload and stuff, like when I'm reading the stuff that I type, man, it does make me fucking giggle. Something fierce, like what did I post earlier on? Hold on, I check it. I can't even remember that shit. But like there's some funny fucking stuff when I type it out, like and then I end up reading it and I'm like, what am I even saying? Like, hold on a sec. Uh, where's the caption on this thing? Be there, or risk dishonoring yourself and your family. The whole concept, I think, of just like the trope that we have going on this stream of just like if you don't watch Painting Goo or if you don't show up for Painting Goo live or if you don't pay for Painting Goo, there's just like I've created my own version of like pay the gay away and it's like it's just as good. It's like you have a no honor. Like that one, like obviously it works way more on males than females, but like that hits home for guys like us. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, You have a no honor, and like that, your part of your soul is like the concept of not having honor is so offensive to like real men, like, or at least men who try to be real men, like, like, how dare you take my money? I have honor. Oh. Tuesday in improv. That's hilarious. I thought of Tuesday as in two, Tuesday as in choose, like to choose something, and Tuesday. You could also have juice day, I suppose, but it's like that doesn't really sound like choose. But Tuesday is brilliant to choose something. The day of chew, the day of mewing, perhaps. You should spend a lot of time on a Tuesday just sitting in a rocking chair, chewing tobacco. No, not tobacco. I've never chewed tobacco. I've been smoking for fucking years, but I've never chewed tobacco. I probably wouldn't enjoy it. Maybe I would. They say it's quite addictive. Your painting looks amazing. Has come a long way. It's it's reminding me of the one I did a while ago. Thank you for the compliment. Um, but it's reminding me of one I did a while ago with the submarines in the sky and the fucking alien baboon thing that's after ripping the head off the elephant. Like, I really like the ones that take me a while, that I take my time with and just slowly add loads of little bits and stuff, like, because they end up looking very chaotic. Like the addition, like all I did yesterday was paint like the beginnings of that axe, and I think that, like, I love it. Like, the addition of the Hello Kitty axe as a secret weapon of the sunflower is just fucking giving me the giggles. Um, I thought all of you leprechauns lived in hobbit holes. I wish that was the truth. This place would look fucking even more beautiful on a daily basis if we all actually lived within those little circular, inside the hill, inside the like circular mound things. Like, I like the idea of circular windows and stuff like that. Like, especially if you had one in the ceiling, like a skylight. Like as an artist and a painter, natural light, you start to appreciate natural light so much more. Like, especially like in the morning, before midday, the morning sun here is has this like glistening divine property to it, where like I absolutely love, where like if I get up at the right time, if I get up around 7, half 7, like if my routine is well, since my birthday back in November, like my routine has been completely annihilated. I'm still trying to get back into it. Like I woke up today at like fucking like 1 p.m. or some shit. I didn't go to sleep till like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm still running a fucking Harry Potter marathon with the female. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like I'm sure many of you are like this, but like depending on like your job or what you do, like. But when the holidays hit for me, that almost always totally knocks me off uh, any routine that I've managed to like consistently sustain through like the summer and spring, the rest of the year. Like, the weather changes, the winter comes in, your routine changes because you have to like do different stuff, like, like prepare the house so it's warm and shit like that. Like it gets so cold that our toilet may as well be an outhouse, and it just drastically changes your routine. But it shouldn't. I should like What I should be saying is I allow that to change my routine. I allow the changing in temperature, the changing of the weather, the lack of vitamin D, the like the changing of the vibration in my environment. I allow that to affect me, perhaps a bit too much. But at least this year, what I have managed to accomplish is that, like, I kind of just went with the flow. I was like, right, well, I guess I'm up till fucking 6 in the morning then. Like, and I still attempt to be at least somewhat productive during those hours. Like, even though my body is like screaming at me that I should be hibernating like a bear, like fucking Brickfingers pointed out yesterday, like the dark patches under my eyes have become increasingly prevalent over the last week or two because I've just been like dehydrated and staying up late and fucking trying to like reorganize my routine. Like, one of these days, I'm just gonna have to push through probably. and like catch my second wind at like fucking 10 o'clock in the morning and not go for a nap and just stay up the whole rest like of the 12 hours till 10 o'clock that night, then finally pass out so that I can wake up at 7 a.m. again. Oh. Originally, uh, Caristry tapestry hangs above us. Saristry. It's so hard to read messages, but it's so fun to attempt to read them in Japu. Like, originally, a Saristry tapestry hangs above us. Griffin was right. It sounds like you have marbles in your mouth or something, like, or a load of cotton wool or something. The fam is the fam. My dad passed, I think I mentioned, so it was sad. But was also cool. Got to see everyone. He was the best. He was the best with words. I seen that. Yeah, like fucking. But because you and I haven't like spoken a lot, I wasn't like I'm not like that. Like unless like, we've had a few back like a bit of a back and forth on a personal level. I don't like. I just like the message and be like, oh, sorry to hear that. Like I don't like feigning uh condolences to the like because like being real like I don't know you on a personal level I don't care, and I know that sounds horrible, but it's like I will simply acknowledge your loss and be like, oh, sorry to hear that, like but I won't be like, oh bro, like when my granddad passed or whatever, like I don't know, it wasn't her grandfather that passed, but you know what I mean, where like people try and like almost give more sympathy and empathy than they actually feel, which sometimes I find like I find that a bit irritating on my part. And I know that's probably just me. I'm so hypersensitive and fucking, I suppose, a little bit jaded that when people are overly polite to me, I see it as an affront. But it's not, it's like in a lot of ways, it's quite a good way to be because you don't make the mistake of, allowing people to manipulate your emotions when you're in a particularly vulnerable state. But yes, I am sorry to hear of your father's passing. How old was he? What did like was it just age, heart attack, cancer, random bus on a Tuesday? No worries, absolutely. I am old and so grateful for having him so long. I'm sorry, didn't mean to blather on. I'm the one blathering. It's all good. You have nothing to apologize for. Not at all. If anything, there's only two people here, so for the moment you can blather all you like. Expel your emotions into the comment section if you prefer, while I prepare for today's painting. Where's my fan? Right. We shall begin with some clarity. Ah, the sultry vibrations of clarity. I do want to do like a painting goo short video one of these days of like round one, and then I hit the gong, and then it's like paint, and then I'll try and do like a time lapse of me painting something fighting or some shit. Like I have loads of ideas. Like I'll have to get like some editing software or some shit like that on the phone or on the laptop, so that I can make the shorts. Well, not just the promotional shorts every day, a bit more varied and more interesting and more fun and entertaining. But I'd also like to do like short videos. Like I want to do. I'd love to like slowly build the idea of like a painting goo cartoon that goes with the stream. Like just these like miniature animations or something like that. Explain the lore of painting goo and like who Defenderu is as a former god of painting and all. Like cast out from the glorious halls of heaven for painting the Monkey King's penis. I like that storyline just makes it like fucking like I can picture it in my mind that it would be a really funny little short cartoon where like there's a mischievous monkey that the Monkey King has sent down to like just to irritate me and like steal things, steal my brushes and my hairband and my headband and like fucking put holes in my kimono or something like, or stick a thumbtack on my stool or some shit like, and then I have the coke ridden fucking, well, the formerly coke ridden tiger, Garlos, as formerly the what would you say? He wasn't really like a companion or even a bodyguard or anything. He was just like, you know, the way like your typical cartel head has like exotic animals and shit like that just because they've like a shitload of money. That's what Garlos was. A simple, humble Siberian tiger, beautiful in his natural state. However, when procured by criminal entities, he was imprisoned, shackled, kept from his natural abilities. Imagine experiencing that. Imagine having the natural instincts of something like a tiger or a lion. All that power, all that ferocious energy, and you're in a cage. What do you think would be worse? Or like if you were to compare the two, because I suppose they're like quite different despite being the same kind of category. But like a bird in a cage, not being able to fly, that's I've always found that quite torturous. Like birds are meant to fly. People keep them in cages. And not just any cage, small cage. Like a bird cage is particularly small cage, you know? If you were to keep a bird in like some kind of giant warehouse that had like 250-foot tall ceilings or some shit like that, that's a different story. But bird cages are on average like what, a foot and a half tall by a foot wide. Even the smallest of birds on average travels kilometers daily. That is so cruel in so many levels, you know? I've never understood that. I wish to admire this beautiful creature, so I'm going to contain it and like keep it near to me so that I can look at it whenever I want. And even if you treat the thing nice, you feed it, you pet it, you have a good relationship with it, you've still imprisoned it against its will, purely for your own entertainment or companionship on some level, like madness. Iron Man Baru, welcome to PEINTEINGU. 90. Everything went wrong the American way. Excellent. That's how you're supposed to go out. You're supposed to be old as fuck and you're supposed to be like, at death's door for like, 5 years and like people saying like, oh, any day now, like, and then another year goes by. Like, that's the kind of guy I want to be. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like when I finally do drop off, I want people to be like, it's about fucking time. Like, he was beginning to stink. I want to be so old that death is like, lad, come on, like, pack it in. I still have things to paint, things to do. Not yet. Like, but not in a like a, not in a like clinging to life in a bad way sort of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? I just want to be so like objective, like on my objective, and I want to be so on task and I want to be like at a stage where like I'm so old and I'm like so far down the journey of like being a master painter or like a high level martial artist or like fucking like something a lot like multiple things like having achieved various milestones in various crafts or whatever vocations throughout your life and you're just like you're still waking up every day being like you know I'm going to do something and one day you just can't, despite your free will, despite your intent, despite the desire to keep going, to be productive, but not to keep going to consume or be greedy or gluttonous or what any of these things, like simply getting up at the age of like 95 or some shit like that and wanting to complete a painting that I've been working on for months Like, I'd love to go out like that, where like I'm seriously just like there in my office at the age of 95, and like I'm just applying paint to a canvas, and I just like I, I just like I die sitting. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody comes in and goes like, grandfather, would you like some tea? And places their hand upon my shoulder, and I just like slump off the stool. Like, I suppose that actually might be quite traumatizing, depending on the person who found me. Grandfather, would you like some tea? And I just like drop off, and they're like, oh God! I, but I had like the most content passing possible. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all I was doing was just focusing on creating a nice line at a particular point of the painting at like at all those years, and I'm still just like, I probably have glasses at that stage, and I'm just like, I'm probably not even pondering anything. I'm just like focused purely on, and this goes here, and just like exhale and die. Like, I like who there's this. If you've ever seen the movie 13 Warriors or the 13th Warrior, I love it. It's a really good movie. Antonio Banderas is in it with a bunch of Viking fellas. But there's a scene in it where a guy, I can't remember if he's a king or if he's just like a lord, like a commander. I'm pretty sure he's a king. Um, but he's like a Viking king, like, and the way he dies in the movie is like legit one of the most stoic, epic fucking death scenes I've ever seen in my life. He gets poisoned, is poisoned for like a few days. He's on death's door for a few days, but in his final moments is still standing, fighting with his men, kills a particular like the commander of the enemy forces, and as the enemy forces flee, he sits upon like a throne that's like outside the encampment. It's like where they would where he would like sit and view the estate as the various villagers went about their things, the blacksmith, the baker, so on and so forth, like, and he just sits on this throne, plants the sword beside him, and just dies. And like he doesn't slump over like this and his eyes close. He's literally staring into the distance at the horizon, upright, sitting upright, and he just dies. And his eyes are still open and all. He's just sitting there, dead as fuck. And the rest of the lads turn around and they're like, "Oh, he's like right, he's gone now." Like, do you know, like how fucking much of a badass do you have to be to just be like, right, I will die now. And like you don't even break eye contact with the horizon as you die. Like, I fucking love that shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, not only do have you accepted death, but you're like, right, fine, I'm gonna die, fair enough. But I'm doing this first, and then I'll die. Deal? Like, and it's like death is sitting there going, very well, I will wait. I've waited 45 odd years. I've been sitting on the sidelines in every single battle, waiting for you to get your head lopped off or being run through with a spear or some shit. I think I can wait another 45 minutes while you slowly bleed out on a chair. Oh, fucking hell. Maxed out Beru. Welcome to PEINTEINGU. Top of the morning to you. Ha ha ha. I'm laughing. I love comments like that. I find that hilarious. Like, in text form, like, expressing, yeah, ha 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 ha, very funny. Like that seems so Germanic to me for some reason. Like you're literally and logically describing something that is inherently very emotional, subjective in a lot of ways. Like I find that hilarious. You want to be the Indian rug store never ending going out of business sales. Oh man, I do you know what? Now that you like the whole rug thing and all, like I that was one of the things that I thought would be really cool is like I might start putting all of my symmetrical designs on things like high quality, like homemade, like if I can, I'd have to get in contact with either like the right kind of business or some people. Like I know Spring does stuff like flags and blankets, but I don't know the quality of them or whatever. And Spring using Spring's kind of shit, but like I don't really have a better option right now financially. Um, but I'd love to put my symmetrical designs on like high quality blankets or high quality. Yeah, well, like I was gonna say rugs and stuff like that. Like so like I suppose I could do rugs, but a high quality rug is like, in my opinion, like I'm talking like Persian. Do you know what I mean? like actually high quality rugs, like the type of rug that you don't want to stand on in your shoes because you're like, my God, the craftsmanship. like, I think my symmetrical designs on large scale, uh, in rug form or in blanket form would like look really fucking cool. Uh, you want to? I already read that one. Would be nice to make it to age 95, man. Like it would be such a good fucking. That's how I want to go out. Like I want to be like one of those like Asian style fuckers who's like so old you can't even tell how old he is, but still has excellent posture and like still wakes up early and like does a lot of stuff. And one of the days I just drop off. The 13th Warrior is awesome. I need to watch that again. I It's one of my favorite movies. It's a brilliant film for like so many reasons. What a Chadley way to go out. Yeah, like it's fucking boss. It's such a fucking boss way to go out. Like it reminds me of like stuff like Boromir's death in Lord of the Rings, where you're just like, oh my God, what an absolute legend. Do you know what I mean? To be like, no, I don't care how many arrows are in me right now. You are not putting your hands on them. That's what, like, that's the type of male role model stuff that I really aspire to be like. Despite, like, I don't think I'm ever going to be in a sword fight. I don't think I'm ever going to be in a gunfight. I pray to the gods that I never actually have to like take up arms and kill someone. Like, like. But if you got to do what you got to do. Like, do you know what I mean? But I have a feeling that we exist, thankfully, in a lot of ways, in a timeline where the fighting takes place on the spiritual level and in the mind and on an emotional level for the most part. Obviously, there's still a lot of violence, but I don't think on average it's not like World War One and Two where like everyone's going to know someone who died in the Great War or some shit like that, or at least went to fight in the Great War and saw some horrific shit. I think we are going to have multiple things like COVID, where we just have a lot of these spiritually and mentally challenging, very highly sophisticated spiritual problems that we have to face inwardly, which is in itself an entirely different obstacle to uh, overcome. You know, like one could say that we have it easier than those people because we like I said, many of us will not actually have to fight anyone to the death. However, there is a simplicity to fighting to the death. It's very final. It's very it's very real. It's like the difference between having a theological debate on the internet with someone. Like if you lose that, you may lose respect, credit, multiple things that have to do with your like spiritual and mental well-being or whatever, like or the how the public sees you, how your peers see you or whatever, like how the gods see you. But you're not going to lose an arm, you're not going to lose an eye, you're not going to your body's not going to be brought back on a shield to your wife. Be grateful. Be grateful that our battles are spiritual more often than not. Back in the day, you just went and died for a cause, whether it be noble or not, Although I could be wrong. For all I know, shit in the United States kicks off in the next couple of years, and we all have to fucking at least pick up a kitchen knife. uh, we will deal with it when it comes. But anyway, it is cold in here, and I'm just sitting here talking, so let us arouse the chi with some taiko drums. I believe 40% should be loud enough. If 5x5, let me know if all the audio is satisfying. Because believe it or not, there are people who only listen to PEINTEINGU, despite it being obviously a visual experience. Still makes me laugh anytime that is mentioned, is the fact that there are audio-only recordings of this stream. It's the simple things that bring me the most joy. Right. Allow the music to permeate your spina. To pass through your soul. Oh, my shoulders are very tense this morning. It is now time to get the blood flowing. If I have my bitches, they will be gotten wet. I have my fan. It will be friexed. I have my royal rag, ready to clean up the evidence of bitch care. That's it. Allow it to worm its way down to your tailbone. Right into the dantian, as they say in Chinese. Inhale. Prepare yourself to witness the glory of PEINTEINGU. 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 It's PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Painting you. Painting me. It's PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Painting you. Painting me. It's PEINTEINGU. Let's fucking go! Yeah! Let the blood flowing! Sid Carlos, wag that tail, you stripy motherfucker. For those of you who racked the honor today, the tiger will remind you to Riker unsubscriber, you cunter. Pay for PEINTEINGU, or admit you have no honor. Also, if you have no honor, I might be tempted to remove the bucket from his head and unleash him upon you. And nobody wants that. Paintingu, paintingu, paintingu. You want a shamisen so bad? Yeah. Ah. These bitches wet. Get it right in there. To the bottom of the bucket. You want the bitch's hair to hit the bottom. Swill it around. Get those hairs sopping wet. Then pour it halfway. Not all the way. Half away. Then beat her senselessly. Then use your royal rag to dispense of all the evidence. You are now ready to painting. Oh! She tried to escape. Fat bitch tried to roll right off the desk. Painting goo goo, painting goo goo. We have a Hello Kitty battle axe to finish. I think this is one of the longest running painting goos. This is like episode 9 or some shit. Shuri Dentameru, welcome to painting goo. Not my fault, I'm just trying to drive a forklift, oh Jesus. You are forgiven! Today I'm loading and unloading luggage for work. Fucking like what BB used to do with the fucking Jewish kids, you're just like moving a lot of people's shite. Material possessions. Disgraceful. Where's my lilac? Ryra. Oh, that'd be really funny, actually. Like, if we did a combination of, like, a... So, it's been a running joke on Painting Goo for a little bit now that I want to do, a line of my own paints, like many artists have done. But I want the names of the paints to be, like, really offensive. I still think lesbian hair blue is just a really funny one. This fucking makes me laugh, like. Lesbian hair blue! We should do, yeah, like, we should combine the two. They should be spelt in Japu and also really, like, offensive. Lesbian hair blue! Redneck redu! Fucking brilliant. It's going to be a very pretty battle axe. I do a rubber rack. PEINTEINGU, 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 painting you, painting me. It's PEINTEINGU, PEINTEINGU, painting you, painting me. It's PEINTEINGU. Ding 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 ding. It's my favorite part. Now I feel like I'm on a horse. I love it. That's quite a hustle, lifting thousands of pounds every day. Gotta keep fit. For PEINTEINGU. 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 It's PEINTEINGU. One has to have enough chi just to witness PEINTEINGU. One of the warehouses I worked in, we dealt in lost goods from multiple venues, and just the amount of random shite that I had to move around all day, clothes, huge boxes of wallets and chargers, and just miscellaneous stuff and all, and it was just me and two other people in the warehouse, damn college kids and their belongings. Good off-season training for farming, indeed. Doing it in the cold as well. I'd imagine it is, when and if God makes me a future farmer. Oh! Oh! I am beginning to burpoo. This is goodoo. I may have had way too much coffee this morning. I will need the white. But other than that, I think we'll let that dry for the moment. I want to fix these bumblebees. Richard Fordu, welcome to PEINTEINGU. How was your horror day? Get it into you. Right. Time to dance with some demons. There is my demon song. Oh, I went too far. There we go. You dare! Why have I come? Why have you come to PEINTEINGU to peddle your fucking filth? Why have I come? The nerve! These are people have no respect for the PEINTEINGU.
War Thunder.
Another fucking ad! The only thunder around here is the farting senses that you people espoused about the place. That's what I see. You don't even speak. It's just fart noises to me, that's all it is. You stinking, slithering salesman. How I hate them so. Dicku Fordu! Oh, fucking hell. Paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint B. Nummy. Paint, paint. Oh shit! I dropped a bitch! Okay. Gonna do some work on the buildings in the background while I'm waiting for the axe to dry. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Love the bees. Bees are awesome. Especially like bumblebees. Like I love bumblebees. I think they're deadly looking. Like fat, furry, cute fuckers. But then wasps are like really cool looking. You know, they're mean looking. Very angular. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo. Yeah. Yeah. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo. Right. Painting the window. Paint. 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 Window. Paint. 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 Window. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Paint. Painting. Google. Paint. It feels like I'm in a Predator movie. Invisible clicking behind you. Oh. I always thought that scene in the first Predator movie was so funny when is it Charlie? I think the Indian fella with the big machete. He just makes the stand on the bridge and like cuts himself across his chest. He's like, "Come on!" Like you know, what I mean? Like fucking kill me! Like you know? And you don't even get to see the fight between him and the Predator. You just hear him screaming in pain in the distance. It's fucking brilliant. Like I remember seeing that like at a fairly like I was like a young teenager when I saw that for the first time. I was like, "What a fucking idiot!" Like I was like, "You just got like you did all that like showboating and flexing. You just get murdered." Like, oh god, the shame. Has anyone seen the most recent one? Was it called Prey? I heard like okay things about it, but like I after Alien versus Predator one, and then like I briefly saw bits of like whatever it was called Requiem or some shit like that. Like Alien versus Predator, the first one was the last. Oh no, that's not true. I saw Prometheus, and that came out after like that came out only a few years ago. I liked Prometheus, but I didn't see the Covenant. Do you know, like they just kind of they made loads of mistakes with that franchise, in my opinion. And don't get me started about the fucking video game, like uh, that universe and that franchise in the video game world. Oh my god, they can't make a decent Predator or decent Alien game for their fucking lives. Like it's not necessarily true recently with the Alien stuff. There's at least two games in the Alien universe that are actually like quite successful and they were made quite well. I think both of them are made by Sega. Um, but like they could just never make a really good Predator game, and it's ridiculous because if you're a gamer and you've played like any amount of games, and then you take a character like Predator or the concept of Predator, that should be one of the easiest like characters to make a really entertaining, engaging, and like over the top fun game about. Like he's an alien hunter with like advanced technology. He can turn invisible. Like he's basically like a superhero, but like he's like an anti superhero. Like it's all there. It's all you have to do is just like use a basic, you know, open world action adventure template like fucking Assassin's Creed or some shit, and you would at least make a decent Predator game. But they just every time they've missed the mark. Every time. Every time they've been trash. Like and it's so fucking annoying. Like It's a lot of windows. But we'll get there. Perseverance. Patience. Some of the many P's of PEINTEINGU. Seemed a bit woke, unfortunately. The Prey one, I can imagine. Sure, like, wasn't the fucking, like, anytime they have, like, a female protagonist in a movie like that, I'm like, most of the time now, I'm like, oh, here we go. They've made a Captain Marvel of, like, this universe. It's like, oh, we need a female, to be at the forefront. It's like, no, you don't need a female to be at the forefront just to have a female at the forefront. If having a female at the forefront, or, like, a main protagonist character, makes sense narratively speaking, then by all means, fire away. But this fucking shite of, like, we must meet our diversity quota. Like, have you ticked all the boxes for success? Like, bait. Bait. PEINTEINGU, goo. She's a bit dry. Wet that bitch up. Feather engine girl boss hoopla. Yeah, that's what I got from the trailer. And then I heard that one of the predators, or the predator in the movie, is, like, kind of a bitch in the way it behaves and stuff like that. Like, so I didn't bother, like, making an effort to try and watch it. These days, that's basically how I go with stuff that comes out. Like, I wait for everybody to react, and then based on everybody's reaction, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a look. Like that fucking Rebel Moon thing on Netflix. That's like, from Zack Snyder, the guy who worked on 300 and Man of Steel. Don't watch Rebel Moon. Like, seriously, like, if you relate to my opinion on things, and, like, fucking, what's the term? Not even, like, respect my opinion. Value my opinion, like, on things like video games, movies, fucking whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Stay the fuck away from Rebel Moon. It's trash. It's like, it's bad eye candy. It's eye candy with no substance. It looks really cool, but it's a fucking waste of, like, 2 hours of your, like, I'm never going to get those hours back. It's such a narrative shit show. It's one of those movies when you're watching it, you're like, what am I watching? Like, sure, that's cool looking, but, like, who the fuck is this? And you don't care about the characters. You don't, like, it's so badly edited. And it's a shame, because it looks really fucking cool. And there's some, actors that I really like in it. Well, there's one actor that I really like in it. The black guy from Gladiator, I can't remember his name. The guy that was in fucking Blood Diamond. Jesse! Fucking that nigga. Like, I really like that actor. He was in Never Back Down. He's the guy who, like, Maximus befriends in Gladiator. You will see your family again, but not yet. Not yet. I really like that actor. He's really fucking cool, and he plays a guy called General Titus in that Rebel Moon thing, and it's a shame, because he's a really good actor, like, you know, and the character is cool and stuff like that. Like, there's some cool characters in it. There's some really cool ideas, but it's an absolute fucking dumpster fire. Sorry, no success for you. You missed a box. Wrong pencil. You're supposed to use a number two. It really has become like stupid, like bureaucratical, meaningless bullshit like that, where it's like, but I've done what you asked me to do. Ah, but you used a black pen and not a blue one. You racist homophobe. And it's like, what? Like, paint. Paint. A bit paler. Just a bit paler. Paint. Paint. Painting, goo. Painting, goo. Yeah. Painting, goo. Oh, recipe. Oh, recipe again. Paint. 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 Painting. Goo. Painting. Goo. Paint. Painting. Windows. Painting. Google. Painting. Goo goo goo. Goo goo. Painting the windows. I watched the Crocodile Dundee last night. Such a good flick. Oh man, I love the Crocodile Dundee movies. From what I haven't seen them in years, but from what I remember, both of them are like decent. Fucking I can't. I think it's in the second one. I'm not sure, but like when he's like in Manhattan or some shit, like, and somebody steals somebody's phone or handbag or something, and he's like legging it through the crowd, and your man just Crocodile Dundee just picks up like a tin of beans and mills it like fucking like 60 or 70 feet at this like at an arc at this guy and like skulls him in the back of the head, and like basically thwarts a robbery like with a tin of beans or something like brilliant. Like there's a scene in one of them where he's like he like sneaks onto some like asshole like the bad guy's compound, and your man's like guard dogs come out, and he just like goes like does some like Australian outback fucking uh beast whisperer juju shit, like so funny. So fucking funny, like. I mean, the female and I are still going through all the Harry Potters. We're on the second last one now. We're on the Deathly Hallows Part One, I think. I fell asleep when we were watching that one last night. And I only recently watched all of them on my own myself, like, and like I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I still like pointing out like plot holes and stuff that I'll notice and be like, that doesn't make any sense, and like, how come you could do this and you couldn't do this and stuff like that. Like I like picking stuff apart, but I also have a great appreciation for like the small details and things and stuff like. And man, the Harry Potter movies are just excellent. They're really good for like a lot of reasons. It's looking better. They're not just blocks in the background now. Paint. Window. Paint. 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 Painting goo 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 goo. Painting the windows. Get that bitch wet. Feels kind of dry. It's a good policy to never watch anything on Netflix, unfortunately. I do like me some Harry Potter movies. So reliable. Yeah, like the only subscription that we've ever like bothered, like we just had Netflix ages ago, so we've just like kept it, like, you know, and I couldn't be arsed like subscribing to something else. Like literally the only monthly subscription that I have is to UATV. Um, so like it can be very frustrating sometimes where like there's literally nothing worth watching for me on Netflix unless it's something that's been around like 10 or 15 years. Like, and that's what, like, that Rebel Moon thing is recent. And because it was like, oh, like, you know, 300 and Man of Steel, I was like, those are good movies. Like, the first 300 movie is an excellent movie. The Man of Steel movie is an excellent movie. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, like, you know, absolute dog shit. Like, I remember when Netflix, like, I remember when I first came across Netflix, and it was like, fuck all on it. Like, there was nothing like trendy or modern about it. Like, do you know what I mean? It had like stuff like it had movies I'd never seen. I was like, they made a sequel to that? Like, the amount of times I saw a movie on Netflix and I was like, I didn't know there was four of them. Like, for all these like straight to fucking DVD, like fucking C movies, like, so funny, like. like when I first got Netflix, what I was watching on Netflix, like when I first got Netflix, it was actually I loved it because I got to watch a load of old martial arts movies that I'd never watched before. Um, like some of the really old Jackie Chan stuff and the really old Jet Li stuff. Um, like they're great. They're really good. Like Legend of the Drunken Master, and I can't remember the name of the Jet Li one. Um, but there's a really good one, and I don't think a lot of them are like gone off Netflix. There's a lot of films that were on Netflix for ages that they got rid of. Like I remember a time where all the Lethal Weapons were on Netflix, and now they're all gone because like whoever owns the rights to those things and all is obviously like, well, I can imagine like this is the case in a lot of cases is like, oh, you don't want to be associated with Netflix, like so a lot of people pull their movies, but Netflix had wormed its way into a position where it had all these Netflix originals and all this stuff, like so it didn't need the the quality, because they had the quantity and they were new and stuff like that, like so like yeah, like now Netflix is like 95% trash. Really is like it was so funny um when that scandalous film came out, that fucking, what was it called? Cuties. I I remember running downstairs to my ma. I was still living with my ma at the time, and I ran downstairs and I was like, "We need to cancel our Netflix. Like, you'll never believe what's after like coming out. Like this is fucking crazy. Like." And she didn't give a fuck. She didn't care. I was like, this is mad. Like, do you know what I mean? She's like, she didn't give a fuck. Like, nobody cared. No, like nobody gave a fuck. Like, it's crazy. I like for a while I like made the effort to like not watch it, not use it, and like fucking uh like not interact with it and shit like that. Like, um, but like if people don't care, people don't care. And I'm not gonna stress myself out um caring an extra amount to like make up for other people not caring. You know, I I do what I do, I consume what I consume, and that's all I worry about now, really. Ugh. That's one of the reasons I went on the Harry Potter marathon. Just sitting there looking at Netflix, being like, "Oh, is there anything I can watch that's not utter trash?" And I seen that they had all the Harry Potters, and I was like, "Okay, I'll watch the Harry Potters." Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed watching every single one of them. They're really good, like, um, just like really good character development, really good narrative, no woke stuff, um, and like genuine cast diversity and stuff like that. Like like because it's kind of a British production. There's loads of Jamaican kids. There's Pakistani and Indian kids. There's black kids. There's English kids. There's Irish kids. There's Northern Irish kids. There's Irish actors, English actors, loads of different races, religions, dominations in that movie. Not once is it mentioned. Not once is it mentioned any of the political, any of the racial, nothing. None of the sexual, nothing. You know, and it's brilliant. Like one of you said, they're very reliable. They're great if you want to like watch them with your kids or whatever, like And I want to have a stockpile of that shit there. So like when me and the female eventually do procreate, I have a lot of media that the children can consume that I know will not fill their heads full of like mad shit. Painting. Goo goo. I've said it before, like fucking. I think I've told this story a few times, probably, or at least mentioned it in passing. That like one of my earliest childhood memories, is sitting on the sofa as like a toddler, watching Conan the Barbarian. Like that, and that like messed with my head, like, for obvious reasons. If you've ever seen that movie, a child that young should not be in the room while that film is on. And I remember my ma being like, should he be watching this? And my father being like, he doesn't even know what's going on. You know, and like a lot of parents would do that. Like I would have even had that opinion like when I was younger, when I was like a teenager thinking about that kind of like moral quandary and shit like that. Like it's like, he doesn't even have a reference point to like what's happening. Like, so like how can it negatively affects you? Now, I could also argue that it like in a roundabout way has a positive effect on certain levels. But the overwhelming majority of the result and consequences of that kind of stimulus at that age is overwhelmingly negative. Fucking traumatizing. Like, I will give them credit though. Later on, they got better at that. Like I remember being around 11 or something, and The Fifth Element came out, and they wouldn't let me watch The Fifth Element because there was like sex scenes and stuff in it and all, like. Um, and like I remember them. I remember noticing that change where I was like, but I've seen mad shit, and like I must have started behaving in certain ways as a young child, and they must have been like, oh shit, like, that's probably because we let him watch that movie. Okay, like no more of those movies, like, because they probably just didn't realize how switched on I was from a young age, And I'm not saying I'm special. It's like I can imagine a lot of parents are ignorant to how much information a very young child actually absorbs. Because like you're just seeing and smelling and touching and feeling and hearing, like all the stuff, like, and it's all just being soaked up into your personality and your subconscious and your conscious mind and all this shit. Like they didn't realize, like, I was their firstborn, So fucking got to give, like, first time parents a bit. You got to cut them a bit of slack, like. As far as '90s kids goes, I think I'm blessed that I got the fact that I turned out the way I turned out, considering how everything went, is like a miracle. Like, somebody's keeping an eye on me. I probably have multiple guardian angels being like fucking just like running around like headless chickens, constantly trying to make sure I don't randomly kill myself by accident. Female, how are you, my love? Uh, I'll take a coffee. Yeah, please. You can use your new tool. Oh, there are a moment. I'm trying to clean the bitch. Paint. Oh, there really are certain things, like certain aspects of sitting and painting, and being like fairly. Obviously, I'm still moving in minute ways, but like other than just my arm and my upper torso, I'm quite like stationary for a long period of time. And because it's cold in here, like my fucking hands are starting to go numb. Like I can feel parts of my shoulders and my elbows and all like losing blood flow and shit. Like because I'm just like I'm very like I'm quite still and it's fucking freezing cold in here. Oh god. Painting goo. If only all Aussies were as cool as Dundee portrayed them. Oh, stop, yeah. Just this, like, incredibly calm, incredibly capable, absolute boss. Uh, Speaking of, where's our elf friend? He's around. He's probably just, like, he's probably doing something. He's probably streaming right now or some shit. I don't know. I seen him comment, being like, "I missed it, and I got arrested." I seen that. Like, apparently he got arrested on Christmas Day or some shit. I'm not sure when he got arrested, but like, I think he got like a DUI or something. I'm not sure. I'm not claiming. I don't know. I just said I think. I can't remember. He did say he got arrested for something though. I don't think it was anything serious. Like, it's just like him being like drunk and disorderly or some shit, like on the holidays or some shit. Like he said he'd never been arrested before, and he was like laughing about it and all. Like I'm just like, just it sounds incredibly Australian. Like, Apo Beru, welcome to PEINTEINGU. You have good taste in films, Defenderu. I believe I do. Thank you. I love films. Like I grew up in the '90s. I love video games and I love movies. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was heavily influenced by a lot of cultural things in like films and video games and all. Like, and I think I do have really good taste in video games and movies, because I have really high standards. Because like my favorite movies are things like, Lord of the Rings, the first Men in Black movie, Gladiator, the first 300. But then, like, they're quite, pop culture, Western stuff. I really like movies, like Asian movies. Like, if you've never seen a film called Red Cliff, check it out. It's fucking awesome. If you've never seen the all Jackie Chan and the all Jet Li movies, I know there's a lot of like the subtitles and all. A lot of people are into that stuff, but like, if you appreciate them for what they are, they're fucking so good. Like the choreography, like the stunt work, the set pieces, the fucking like attention to detail in terms of like just like certain things in the backgrounds and stuff. And then like particularly when you're talking about Jackie Chan movies and Jet Li movies, just the level of choreography and artistic physical talent that they manage to portray on screen, it's just like incredible. I also really like certain horror movies and creature features. Like I recently watched Godzilla vs. Kong, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's not like an amazing movie or anything, like, but it's a solid creature feature. So was Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island was a solid creature feature. Um, if you've never seen a movie called The Host, as far as I know, it's Korean. I'm pretty sure it's Korean. It could be Chinese. I just know it's not Japanese. As far as I'm aware, it's not Japanese. I think it's either Korean or Chinese. But it's called The Host, and it's basically about this like monster that grows in one of the biggest rivers in that section of China. It's like a really built up area. It's very it's like a metropolis, like a city in China. Might be Korea. Like I can't remember. Genuinely can't remember. Um, but that's one of the best movies I've ever seen for like loads of reasons. Like the CGI in it is fantastic. Some of the moments in that, it really doesn't look like CGI, and it is because the CGI is so well done, and they also do real stuff with like props and special effects in the environment to trick your eye into thinking that it's real. You know, they didn't just like slap a CGI monster on the screen. They really thought about like how the how the real world would interact with what is happening and shit. Like, and it's fucking awesome to witness. Like, there's an Asian horror movie that I've only ever seen the once, but like I like vowed to like watch it again, but I just never got around to it because it's not the sort of thing that you can just like you'd have to go to a streaming website or buy it off like a certain I think like a Asian website or some shit. It's called Rigor Mortis, and it starts off with a guy hanging himself, and in the moment as he's dying, time stops, and he essentially it's kind of like Inception. He enters the dream realm because he's tried to kill himself, and then the whole movie takes place like in that space of time. Really fucking cool. Also, really cool special effects in that. Like the first Blade movie, like I don't think that's ever been topped in like for like so many reasons in terms of like action movies. The first Blade movie is like seriously one of the fucking coolest movies I've ever seen. Like the first 15 minutes of that is fucking really cool. Like, and then the rest of the movie is like just as good, you know. But like the starting sequence of the first Blade movie is like such a banger. It's just such. It's so glorious to witness the first 15 minutes of that movie. The music, the setup, the way the narrative is like delivered to you, and then just Wesley Snipes' performance as Blade is just like it all together is just like fantastic, brilliant. Like, I'll take a coffee too, thanks. I know, and I didn't even have to ring the gong. I have her trained really well. Like Skillet Black. What's that in? That's actually another good movie that I enjoy. The Edge with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. There's a line in that movie where Alec Baldwin is like, I like my coffee the way I like my women. Bitter and murky. I remember, like, I think the first time I saw that movie, I was still a teenager, and you know, I had experience with females and stuff like that, like, but I was still like, I was like 17 or something, like, you know, and I remember watching The Edge, and he said that, and I burst out laughing. I thought it was one of the best things I'd ever heard. Like my coffee the way I like my women, bitter and murky. Like 2 minutes past midnight black. Like under the bed black. Oh, I love that shit. Like how black? Like fucking so black. Like like Chinese motor oil stains on pants black. I have a 4K remastered of Akira. Oh, on DVD. Oh, that's a valuable uh, possession in my humble opinion. I have yet to this day I've attempted to watch Akira multiple times because I've heard how good it is and I've seen clips of it and I'm like that looks really good and I've actually watched the documentary about Akira and it's fucking amazing. Thank you, my love. What? What didn't work? Oh, your little tool thingy. Well, like it's not. It's odd. I don't know. Thank you. Oh, it's nice and warm. I did like some most of the time I stick the heating on before I come in here, but like I just sometimes like you gotta just not use the heating and brave the cold so you can save money on the electricity bill. Oh god, I'd love to know a way to just like I'm sure not the only one, but I'd love to know a very cheap, very like if you were willing to do 20 minutes of like craftsmanship every morning in terms of like getting a fire going or some shit, but then you had this device that was able to economically and efficiently transfer a high amount of heat all over your home without the need for certain things and all, like because the amount of like wood I'd end up buying and stuff, and our chimney's not the best. Like when we moved into this place, our chimney was blocked and we had to get it cleaned. And even when we got it cleaned and he was like, oh yeah, you can use that now. The fireplace, like we don't have a proper grate and it's like, where are we going to get one of them around here? We'd have to go into the next county, into the big town to be able to buy one and shit. And like, you end up just sticking the heating on, because the fucking landlord has, like, he fucking ripped the boiler out and all, like, and put, all electric radiators in. Like, it's so typical, like, to be like, it's probably cheaper for him or cheaper for whoever owns these houses. But for us, it's fucking mad expensive to like live in it and use it. Like, so typical. Like, that's the sort of stuff that like really annoys me. Like, if I owned houses, I'd be the total opposite. I'd be like, I want people, if they so choose, to be able to run this place like really cheaply. You know, landlords can landlords can be cunts. I'm not saying all landlords are cunts. But they like a lot of the landlords here can be like proper bastards, and it's a lot of the time it's not necessarily their fault because the financial incentives and the financial stop gaps and stuff like this. Ireland's very Jewy. Ireland's very fucking like the Irish are just as good, if not better, at fucking people over than the Jews. And I'm Irish, and I feel like that. There's a portion of our culture, when you get past the fighting Irish, the funny Irish, the welcoming Irish, the poetic Irish. Like, yeah, we are all those things. We have amazing literature. We have a really deep culture. We're really good warriors. Like, we have a intense, deep, uh, spiritual connection to the earth and the island we live on. All these things. However, we have some of the worst, underhanded, backdoor, fucking shit. Like, you think the Jews are bad, the fucking Irish will fuck you. They'll fuck you over, and like they'll fuck over their own. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's Irish con men and Irish gangsters and criminals are some of the worst in the realm because they're really, really good at it, and they don't give a bollocks. I would make a guess that that's actually the reason why Irish people are known for being very mentally resilient. The whole like, oh, you can't psychoanalyze the Irish. No, it's because we have some of the best con men. We had like the leprechaun, to gold, haha. We culturally and spiritually have some of the S tier like deception rackets, like money rackets, all this fucking stuff, like, like spiritual deception and like fuckery and like dishonorable conduct and stuff like that. We're really good at that shit. Like, we're like too fucking good at that shit. Paint, paint. Hold cold. Sometimes I like it Polar Bear style with cream. I take my coffee quite half and half. I rarely drink just like black coffee. I do it though. But most of the time I like a creamy, sweet coffee. Because I'm a bitch. A rocket retort with a radiator would work. It's custom but doable. I've looked into that stuff, and that's the stuff I'm thinking about trying to build myself. Because I've heard how efficient they are and stuff like that. But same again, I would have to take like a couple of days out of my schedule and go and acquire the resources and then attempt a prototype. And be cautious about it, because knowing me, I'd like fuck it up and nearly burn the house down. So I'd have to attempt a prototype, like, outside in the shed or something. And then once I know how it works and I know what I'm doing, and there's no potential for like a house fire or like even like really bad burn marks on a wall or something. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. That's exactly the type of shit I'm talking about. A very basic, fundamental from an engineering, alchemical, and resource-based point of view. It's just like, all right, I'm going to get a tube with a heat source, and I'm going to direct that heat towards the house, and like do it in such a way that it like moves throughout the house and like actually heats the whole fucking house, or at least something you could move from room to room and stuff like that. But really easy, really cheap, and easy to run, And like there's scams going around. There's scams going around the last few years, because that's a big thing in Europe the last few years, because of the whole fucking, I'm assuming, because of the whole gas pipe thing, with the whole like, oh, Europe's gonna freeze, and they've been talking about that shit like on a geopolitical level in the mainstream, where it's like, oh, people are finding it harder to heat their homes and stuff like that. Like it's all lies, for like in a sense. Like when you really look at it logically, like it's all because people simply don't know how to do stuff themselves. But we live in an age where people refuse to teach people how to fish because they want you to pay them to be able to fish for them and shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like most businesses aren't looking to be in a situation where a rising tide raises all ships, kind of thing. Like, like if I had access to the knowledge and materials, I'm the type, like, I'm very similar to Owen. I can be kind of naive sometimes because I just want to do the right thing. I would like give everybody the materials necessary to do it, and like I wouldn't charge them. I'd just be like, here, sort yourself out. But like people take advantage and people take liberties, and like even when you give someone a way out, quite often they waste it. So it can be quite irresponsible and a waste of your own energy to be too good, for the wrong reasons, or at least in the wrong way, But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, bears and bearettes, niggers and niggerettes, I'm going to leave it there. I know it's 10 minutes early before my usual 2-hour mark, but I am starving and I'm cold. And I've just been sitting here ranting and painting. So I'm gonna end this one here. And I shall see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or I will get Garlos to claw your face off. Right, where's my fan? Oh, the bitch fell in the bin. So, this has been PEINTEINGU. I hope you enjoyed Ingu. If you would like to pay for PEINTEINGU, link is in description. If you would like to buy my merchandise, link is also in description. And in the meantime, be good, be true, and be beautiful. I'll see you at the same time, same place, same high octane energy. Tomorrow, Woden's Day. Have a good one. God bless. And enjoy, right?